these guys smoked through to the top rank senior presidentials from Atlanta, Georgia. Ken and Lynn Robinson, welcome to the stage.
Wow, wow, wow. Thank you, guys. Can you hear me and see me okay?
We can hear you loud and clear, and you're looking sharp, my friend.
Hey, well, you know, today is my son's graduation day, so I'm trying to look my best. My wife, actually,
great.
Lynn.
That's great.
Thank you, thank you. Lynn,
congratulations, by the way, to the dad.
Yeah, appreciate it. One down, one to go. But Lynn is doing a lot of preparation, so she may join us, she may not, but hey, I'm here, guys. Great start. What did Onyx say? Swing the bat. That's what I'm talking about. You got to swing the bat. Now, I'll just tell you a little bit about myself. I'm born and raised here in Atlanta, Georgia, and sometimes I go up north and I do a meeting. I tell them up front, I might mess up some words, slice some vowels, and mess some stuff up. Do not let the messenger get in the way of the message, okay? I may stutter a little bit, but bottom line is I'm excited about what we're doing, and I like it. Some folks in the South understand the way I talk because we belong where the grass grows tall and the folks say y'all, okay? It is what it is. So anyway, I'm going to get into getting started. Now, my topic today, they told me to discuss approaching questions you ask when you're piquing the person's interest. I mean, that's very important in the beginning. Now, what I want to do is share my screen and just talk about what I call the process, okay? The process in our industry, a recruiting process. I mean, the network marketing, nothing changes too much except the product, right? The process is the process. The beauty of the X39 is that it takes several steps out of this process. I mean, you could literally go from putting a patch on somebody to the next minute signing them up as a diamond pack. So this is a very different from anything else you ever did. First of all, I'll tell you, whatever you're thinking about this industry and about network marketing or about what quote unquote sales, throw it out the window. This process is simple. Now, these 6 steps in my mind are what a leader needs to know because you want to know where everybody else is in the process. But if you're brand new, guys, you can go from patching to signing, all right? But the more steps you add in this process, the more value you add to where a person's going to join. It's the difference between somebody joining as a bronze or a diamond. I mean, how much value have you shown, all right? So what I want to talk about, I don't have time to get into the creating of the list. I think someone else is going to cover that, all this other stuff. But number 2 here, guys, if you can see this, piquing interest, okay? That's the second step in what we call the process over here. The second step of piquing interest is so important, guys. And a lot of times it's where people get derailed, okay? And I'm going to cover what you're going to expect, but I don't have 15 minutes here. So I also want to cover, when did I start? I see it, okay. I also want to cover the words that work, okay? Words that work in the conversation. But let's talk about piquing interest. Now, let me bring up something else here. Desktop shit. All right, I'll do it this way. Now, in the process of piquing interest, understand what we're doing. See, a lot of people make the mistake of believing that recruiting someone is an event. No, it is a process. The first thing you got to do is sort your people. Now, once you make your list, that's the first step. The second step is to approach and pique interest. But in that piquing of interest, which we'll talk about, you're not trying to convince anybody. Write this down. Don't convince people, simply sort. See, you can't say the wrong thing to the right person or the right thing to the wrong person. The main thing is you got to realize everybody's different. You're going to run into 3 types of people, though. It never fails. Either they're going to say yes, either they're going to ask a ton of questions, or they're going to be negative or say no, okay? I call them apples, right? It's like down south, you're picking some apples, you put them in a basket. If it's a red apple, it's supposed to be red, you take it. That's a yes. A green apple that's supposed to be red, that's a person that asks questions. You don't throw that apple away. You put it to the side. You put it on the windowsill, what have you. It'll turn green, maybe, right? A rotten apple ain't nothing. You can't make no applesauce. You can't make apple juice. You can't make apple nothing with a rotten apple. So what you do? You throw it away. You see. This is what I want you guys to understand. Spend your time with yeses. There are enough of them out there. Spend 80% of your time with people that say yes. Spend that accept the patch, that want the patch, that are receptive to your conversation. Spend 20% of your time answering questions. Questions are good. Write this down. Questions are good. Questions mean genuine interest. If a person doesn't ask you a question, that means they might not even be interested. So don't shy away from questions. I'm gonna show you how to answer them though. But a rotten apple, this is what I want to spend a couple of minutes on, because the rotten apple will tend to derail more new network marketers than anything else I think out there. The company is solid, the product is solid. Then you go to Uncle Bubba, and Uncle Bubba says, "Ma, that's a scam, that's a pyramid. You ought to forget about that." How you a patch? A patch? Man, come on, man. If my doctor doesn't sign off on this, I'm not. I have heard all that kind of stuff, and I'm telling you, the people that are not prepared for it, they end up getting derailed, and it derails their entire business, guys. Write this down. Some will. Some will, some won't. So what next? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. See, your objective is to get brand partners, right? And to teach others to do the same. That's the objective. Don't worry about the results. If you put in the numbers, Onyx said it best, you swing the bat on a daily basis, you will connect, okay? Just realize it's a simple thing is what we're doing now, but you got to begin with the end in mind, okay? If you don't, let me tell you what's going to happen. Happened to me in my first venture. I never forget it. I got on an emotional roller coaster. It blew me away, man. I went to my grandmother that raised me, and I said, "Grandma, I want you to try this product." She said, "No, baby, I'm not going to do that. I can't do that. No way. I don't believe in that." Man, it just almost destroyed and I really wanted that business to work, man, because I hated my job. I mean, my boss was an imbecile. You know, and I was just ready to get out of that environment. I just had to go. But then my grandmama said, "No," she raised me. "Oh, this can't work." She said, "No." And then I just talked to another friend of mine. They said, yes. So it was up and down, up and down. If you have long-term thinking, guys, you can get over this emotional roller coaster. And I'm gonna tell you something that I'm not gonna spend a whole lot of time on it, but bad rotten apples will tend to try to derail you, okay? And one of my mentors told me something years ago, I never forgot it. When you buy someone else's opinion, you bought their lifestyle. So if someone tells you no, or does not, or tells you something very negative, it might be because it might be somebody you need to be listening to. And you know what I found out? More successful people, or people that have had success in any business, they may tell you it's not for them, but they will encourage you on what you need to do to make it work. So, because everything's not for everybody, you know, but it's self-activating your stem cells. That's the one I think is for everybody. But goals keep your long-term thinking going. I'm not going to get into all this, guys, because I'm running out of time. I really want to cover the words that work. But remember something. If you don't quit, you will make money. I don't know how much, can't guarantee you how much, but if you keep swinging that bat, you will connect. All right. Now let's talk about the conversation. The conversation we need to have. Oh, guys, we have an incredible upline. You know, Onyx Code, Stephen G. Lemare. Guys, they put together this Bill 331. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but it's bill331.com. I wish I had used this in the beginning. Steve, it's your fault. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. He let me do what I wanted to do, and I was ignorance on fire, and it worked. But guess what? Onyx has a great saying. I love it. It's not what works, it's what duplicates. I wasn't getting duplication until I said, hold on. Let me stop working so hard. What's on this website? And I just said, let me find stuff. So I started directing people here, and it took a lot of pressure off of me. We only have so much time in the day. I'm doing other things, as far as a lot of you guys are. Let the system help you. SYSTEM, system. Save yourself significant time, effort, and money. That's what it's. That's the acronym. So this is part of our system. Now, when you're approaching and piquing someone's interest, guess where it's at? Step number 3, ask, share, give. Now, write this down. When you're talking to people, questions control conversations, okay? Questions control conversation. Now, I was doing the same thing, but I was trying to figure out my own questions. What I've done now, I modify each and every last one of these questions, and I memorized the first couple. What do you know about stem cells? I say that all the time. It's an open-ended question. See, open-ended questions don't require, you can't answer an open-ended question with a yes or no. You ask a question like, do you like stem cells? See, that's a yes or no question. You don't want to ask those kind of questions because it'll end up in a stalemate, right? You want to ask questions that make your prospect conversate. Listen more than you talk. What do you know about stem cells? And that one question there opens up. Now, this is the key. They may come back and say, hey, I know, man, I just had stem cell injection. They may be so positive, then you say, man, this conversation is going to be easy. They may say, oh, stem cells, I think I heard of it. You want to know where a person is, but guess what the answer is? Whatever their answer question back to you is, the answer is a testimony. Guess what? Share your 2-minute story. Now, guys, there are a ton of testimonies outside of your own. Okay, it doesn't have to be your testimony. I love being on the Zooms because I can say my friend this, my friend that. Once I see them on the Zoom and I hear those great testimonies, I'm writing it down. Wow, Bob had because I believe them. Now, that might be an issue for some of you guys in the beginning. See, I didn't believe. I honestly did not. I said this, I put it on myself and nothing happened. Okay, I'm thinking bells and whistles and fireworks, nothing happened. Put it on my wife, she was a one-patch wonder. She said, Teray, the arthritis pain went away. I said, now I'm gonna tell you what that did for me. It motivated me to buy that first pack, right? But I still was like, yeah, it's my wife. What happened when I gave it to my good friend, Ron Robinson, hamstring injury. 3 days later, Ken, this thing works. But Teray, this thing works. Reggie Stewart, Harvey and Vedita Monk. Y'all don't take this the wrong way, but the company said it was a money back guarantee. I bought as many as I could afford. Okay. And I said, I'm gonna find out real quick if this works. And I started sharing. So realize what testimonies do, not just, can I get a testimony for my friend knee hurts? Can I get a knee hurt testimony? My friend has an eye problem. Can I get an eye problem? No, the testimonies are there to build your belief. You don't have to send someone a testimony, just share it. If you're dealing with your warm market, that's all typically you need. Now, I use the videos, but I use them to drip on people afterwards. So let's get back to the main conversation. Get a lot off track and I'm running out of time. Your question, for example, you walk up, now I'm not good at meeting people on the street. A lot of this stuff, I give you an example though. I wait for the opportunity to arrive. Let me tell you what happened. I went to get the room and you saw in Atlanta, we're gonna have an event on the 30th. So I'm going to identify a hotel room. And I went to the front desk, sat in the lobby. The saleswoman walks out to me. Guess what she had the nerve to walk to me limping. Okay, she limped to me and we spent 20 minutes talking about the X39 before we even got to how much the room was gonna cost me. And so my point, guys, is that question, I didn't know, I don't ask it, what's wrong with your leg? No. What do you know about stem cells? That was the first question I asked. And then she said, yeah, I know a little bit about it. I was thinking about it, bam. It just opened up the whole conversation. So that one question, and I'm telling you, Steve helped me, Steve and Gina. When I first got started, they came to Atlanta. Well, it was a month or so after I was in, they came to Atlanta. And I asked, I said, Steve, what do you say to people? And he said, Ken, I keep it simple. I keep it real simple. I said, what do you say? He said, he uses buzzwords and phrases. One of them, I use, did you know, and this is a question, there's another question. Did you know that by the time you're age 30, half of your stem cells start working? And by the time you're 60, almost none? And they're like, wow, really? See, these are the kind, but non-invasive. I was listening to a training last week. Several buzzwords, non-invasive. You want to use that, meaning it's not going to interfere with any medical plan that you're on right now. Non-transdermal, patented. So what we have, guys, is an incredible product. I'm running out of time. I'm about to wrap this up. But we have an incredible product. The conversation is easy. Every answer to their question is a testimony. Don't be a techie. I'm going to tell y'all, the biggest problem I see with folks getting started is they think they need to know everything before they talk to somebody, okay? They think they need to know all this photo biomodulation stuff. And I'm telling you guys, we use, our model over here is the patch and pass, okay? We patch and we pass to the tools. Patch them and pass them. Patch them and pass them. Patch them Answer peak interest question, give them some samples, let them go. It's an investment in your business. Somebody tell me, I'm not gonna give away these packages. That's $3 a piece. I'm not, oh no, did they like it? They're gonna have to buy it. Okay. Now I'm gonna tell y'all something. That is, and that person was just terribly uncoachable. And one or two things happens with people like that. Either they quit the business or they become coachable again. And then their business, I gotta be direct with you. So I'm gonna wrap this up and I'm gonna leave you with this. This business is simple, but it's not easy. Why do I say that? It's simple to purchase a package. It's simple to patch somebody. But what happens, I think, is that people have we're rigid. The older we get, the more rigid in our thinking we get. And I hear this all the time. That's just not me. I don't do that kind of thing. I don't do this, or I don't do that. I hear that. I can't do that. Well, I'm gonna leave you with this. If being who you are could get you what you want, you would have already had it. So either change who you are or change what you want. That's my time.
I love it. Wow. Thank you. My favorite part,
Incredible.
I don't know about you two, but when you buy somebody else's opinion, you buy their lifestyle. I am so guilty of that. I ran from network marketing my whole life until Stephen Gina kept knocking on my door and knocking on my door and knocking on my door. So how many of us are letting other people steal your dreams and you're living their lifestyle instead of your own lifestyle? That was powerful for me.
That was powerful.
Wow,
Really
thank you so
powerful.
much, Ken. The information that we got there just to get the conversation started and exactly where to point and click and where to find the information. Like today, the information you need is right on our build331.com website. So you've got that, and that's how you use a tool. I remember when Onyx got us started, every time we had a question, she copied a link from the site and sent it to us. She did answer the question, but she said, here's where you find it. And we were saying to ourselves, again, I pray that you got your head in the game here, because we said to ourselves, sounds like she's telling us that all the info is right here. So we were getting
But
that.
I am guilty of, maybe I asked her 15 questions and on the 16th question, I said, oh, she's sending me to the same place every time. Duh.
It was
But she
perfect though.
is loving.
It was
Now,
perfect
I
though.
would tell you
Yeah.
that it was very interesting what he said about not have to be so in tune and know everything.
Yeah.
Ignorance on fire. Have fun. Look for people that are simple to patch, simple to have a conversation with, simple to hit the ball with,
Yep.
instead of
Bring
trying
that.
to. I will tell you this much, just to recap that last thing he said about knowing everything. This is my mindset. If somebody starts asking me very tough questions, like where is this certain testimony, or how do you prove this? You know what I'm saying to myself? This person is trying to slow me down. Most people don't have that. They want to go and answer everybody's question. I'm like, that is turning into a green apple, possibly a rotten very quickly, because I got things to do and my family means more to me than trying to answer every question because I didn't need it. Now, we'll do our best with the startx39.com because it has everything they need. But be careful that they're not trying to steal your dream or slow you down